Welcome to Manufacturing Tech Australia.
Welcome everybody, lovely to have you here today. We're excited to be having a good discussion with you as we go through the evolution, what's actually impacting, what the opportunities are across manufacturing. Without any further ado, let me hand you over to Justin Cook, commonly known as Cookie, affectionately known as Cookie, to actually speak substance rather than just an intro. There we go. Thanks.
All right, good morning everybody, and yes, I am typically known as Cookie. I run our data and AI platforms business for our small, medium and corporate customers across ANZ. So I want to talk a little bit about becoming frontier. It's a term you'll hear a lot of, but we are truly seeing organisations really embrace what it means and what it can do for their businesses. So becoming frontier is all about leading the wave when it comes to transformation, driving innovation within your business, truly embracing AI for all that it's capable of. And when we think about helping our customers on that journey, we look at it across 4 pillars. We look at it across enriching your employee experiences. We all try and make sure that the people that work in our teams or work for our organisation have access to the best data, the best services, the best insights to be able to best serve your business and your customers. We think about reinventing customer engagement, and this is where this is a huge game changer. By being able to provide 24/7 support for your customers, to be able to give them rich information to help them troubleshoot things with your solutions or services or product that you're delivering. Particularly in manufacturing, there is a lot of business processes. I don't need to tell you that. But thinking about those business processes that are, if we reshape them, can deliver some real value to our business. So working with the business. There's never been a time more where engaging and leading with the business is more important when it comes to delivering technology outcomes. And of course, through all of that, we are really bending the curve on innovation like John spoke about. But when it comes to AI, one of the things that is most important is that trust element. Making sure that we've got trust from the business, we've got trust from our employees, we've got trust from our customers, because we're running AI over a lot of data that's critical to your business. So making sure that you've got that trust. And once we have that trust, we can really bring the intelligence to life. So I want to talk a little bit about investment. In order for us to keep up with demand from our customers, when it comes to AI infrastructure, in FY25 we invested $80 billion US. This financial year we're on track to invest $150 billion just to keep up with demand. And if anyone was at our AI tour recently, you would have heard Satya Nadella, our CEO, announce that we're investing a further 25 billion Australian into the Australian market. And that means investment into solution development, investment into services and data centres, but most importantly as well, investment into skilling. As part of that announcement, we committed to skilling 3 million Australians to give them AI-ready skills for the workforce. And that will help all of you in the room as you ready your staff to take advantage of this technology shift. So AI is not new. You talk to people about AI and they're nervous about what it means. Traditional AI services have been around for decades. We think about machine learning, we think about things like object recognition, OCR capabilities. They've been around for quite a length of time. But over the last few years, we saw that new wave of generative AI come through where we were able to consume and create content faster than we've ever been able to do before. But now we're in the next wave of Agentic, where agents, and we truly believe 2026 will be the year that agents join the workforce. And you look inside Microsoft, we have agents, in fact over 500,000 agents deployed already, to help our employees be more productive, to help us deliver better services. So becoming frontier, we think of it from 3 angles. Firstly, humans with an assistant, and that again is nothing new. Ross and I were talking about Siri outside earlier. There's Siri, Alexa has been around for years. Copilot is delivering that assistant capability for your users as well. So that's stage 1, where you've just got an assistant helping you. As we move into stage 2, we have a team of agents that starts to do things for us. So human-led, human oversight, but as an employee, we now have a team of agents that is working for us that we can offload tasks to. Tasks to an agent that we trust. We know what the output should look like, so we can review the output before we share that with anybody else. And then when we get to level 3, agent operated but human directed, this is where we actually have teams of agents working together. So to give you an example, software development's a great example of this. We have user stories that define what we actually want to build. We have sprints that come out of those. And then we'll have an AI agent that will start to distribute the tasks aligned to the sprints. So we have a team of AI developers that write the code. They then, once complete, offload the next task to the AI testers to make sure that the code delivers on what it needs. And then once they're happy with the code, they'll offload it to the AI document writers to write the documentation that is aligned to the code and the output. And then that is all, once completed, fed back up to the humans. So it's staying in the loop to provide oversight. But you can see how efficient it becomes. We've got agents now building code 24/7. We build 35% of our code using that model now. So you can see that has had a huge shift in productivity for us, which enables us to bring services to market as fast as we do. We just released the latest work trend index. The link is on there as of yesterday. It was playing up a little bit, but I encourage you to download that. There's a couple of key things that came out of the last report, and I'll touch on the new ones in a minute. But the key things out of the last report were 79% of the employees feel that they are at their productivity cap. With the hours in the day, there is no way that they can deliver any further productivity. Yet 47% of leaders said we need more productivity to remain competitive, to remain profitable, to deliver better services and outcomes for our business. So you can see there's friction between those two data points that we need to solve for. So when we think about the productivity equation, the one on the left is something we've used for 70, 80 years. If you want, your output is a measure of productivity, which is a function of labour or human time and capital, and in manufacturing, plant and equipment. But now we can shift over to the equation on the right, where we can now introduce intelligence, because most organisations that I talk to, they're at a headcount cap. Right? We can't afford to invest in more labour, but we still need greater productivity. Or from a plant and equipment perspective, we're also, we don't have additional capex to be able to invest in that. So how do we change the game when it comes to driving greater productivity output? It's by introducing intelligence. I'm curious here. So this is out of the latest work trend index. If we think about frontier professionals, and that when we went through the analysis, that was only about 16% of the people that we surveyed. But you can see the stats are very different between the two. People that were identified as a frontier professional, which I'd like to think I'm part of, 80% say they're producing output that they weren't able to do a year ago versus 58. Is there anyone else in the room that would consider themselves a frontier professional? Good. But this is really important, particularly this point, where every action that I do now, I pause to think about how AI could do that for me first. Even if it's just, I don't want to start from a blank page, I actually want to start with some output that then I can go and redesign, update, change. But that sort of thing has really changed my productivity. So making that intentional decision. But it's still really important to make sure that you're doing things outside of AI so that you retain those skills, because we need to continue to make sure that the output is of a higher quality than we were able to do just by ourselves, and we're able to do it more effectively and efficiently. So AI starts with data. This is really, really important. And it needs to be AI ready. So the way we make your data AI ready is, firstly, we want to make sure that we break down any silos. So particularly in manufacturing, you'll have systems that run your plant, you've got different data systems for your CRM. How do we break that down so that we can bring all of that data together? Where possible, make sure it's real time so that we're not waiting on batch processing to get the latest data. Make sure it's meaningful. Now this bit's really important because we need to understand context and semantics to data. Otherwise, data is just words and numbers. So think about a customer as a good example. Actually, I'll build that out. So a customer record, Justin Cook, my role, organisation that I work for, it's just words until I understand the context of that record. It could be, I'm a satisfied customer and I love doing business with your organisation. It could be that I'm a new pursuit that you're going after, or it could be someone that I'm really frustrated, I've had a lot of support issues, and you would deal with those three references very differently. So understanding that meaning behind it is super important as we move into the world of AI. I touched on the success framework at the start. When we think about the approach, we need to make sure that AI is in the flow of human ambition. What do we want to achieve? Making sure that it's built into our flow of work. We want to support ubiquitous innovation, so allowing our users to build agents. Sarah, like you were saying earlier, just trying some things, building the agents, but supporting it in the right way. And making sure that we've got visibility or observability at every layer. That is very important, and that scares a lot of organisations, the fact that what's going to happen with all of these agents that get built in my environment? How will I know what is out there and what it's got access to and who it's talking to? So I'll touch on the technology. Copilot gives you the ability to build no-code agents or your personal productivity agent and assistant. Copilot Studio lets you build the low-code agents, or where you need to get really mature and build in full capability, Foundry will give you that full agent pro-code development platform. Fabric, as you would be aware, is our data as a service platform that brings all of your data to life. And Agent 365 then gives you that full visibility of the agents that are deployed in your environment, both Microsoft and non-Microsoft as well. So a registry of all the agents, who owns it, who can use it, data it's got access to, which agents are talking to each other. So full view of what's happening at that layer. And then you'll see these IQ components. So what IQ actually does for us is it brings context to your data, it helps your agents make decisions, and helps your agents deliver actions. So this is intelligence brought to those existing capabilities from a work IQ, who you are, who you communicate with, the types of role that you have, how you write, the types of meetings that you attend, all of that context that we bring together from Office 365. Fabric IQ, that brings the context and the semantics and the understanding of the data that I spoke about, that being really important. And then Foundry IQ gives that intelligence to the agents so they actually know what to do with the data. So I'll finish on, now where's your opportunity? What does this actually mean for manufacturing? How is this going to better serve your business, your processes, your customers and your employees? There is so much opportunity here that we would love to work on with you. But I'm going to pause and hand over now. We'll get Grant and the Wild Tech team to take you through the next part of the presentation.
Thanks for tuning in to Manufacturing Tech Australia with Shane and Paul.